This is the Bob & Brad Zero Pro eye massager, and it is the 11th eye massager that I've reviewed on my channel. And it's the first eye massager that I've reviewed since comparing 10 of the top eye massagers on the market. In today's video, I'm going to compare this one against the same specifications of the video that I made about 9 months ago. So in today's video, I'll talk about everything that comes with this device when you purchase it. I'll cover all the specifications and features of it. I'll show myself using it, and I'll provide my overall thoughts after using. To start, let's just talk about what these devices are. They are designed specifically to massage around your eyes. So it's not going to actually massage on your eyeballs. But when it comes to the things that they actually claim to do, I'm going to read directly off the Bob & Brad packaging here. It relieves ocular muscle tensions, eases eye pain and headaches, relieve eye strain and dry eye, and reduce dark circles and eye bag. So I know these are really popular for relaxation in people, but they're also specifically used for dry eyes, like it mentioned. So people that have really dry eyes, the heat helps lubricate your eyes by just heating up the tear ducts and getting that moisture and lubrication in your eyes. But for me, I just use it for relaxation. It is a super relaxing thing to wear at the end of the day. I stare at a computer screen like a lot of people do. So just putting this on when I get home from work or before I go to bed just really helps relax the muscles around my eye, on my temples, and just helps melt away some of that tension that builds up from staring at a screen all day. So now to take a look at the device itself, it looks very similar to the other generations of Bob & Brad eye massagers and other eye massagers in general. On the outside of it here, you've got the Bob & Brad branding. It does completely fold in half. It's a hard plastic on the outside. And on the other side, you just have one button that you can toggle to control all aspects of the device. So this is how you power it on. This is how you change zones. This is how you change modes. It's how you turn the music on. It's how you adjust the heat and the air pressure. So I'll walk through all of that in a moment after I get done showing everything that comes with the device. As you turn towards the side that actually goes on your eyes, you have this sort of soft fake leather vinyl material. You see it's nice and loose here. It's got some padding that goes with it. You've got some air pouches and some zones underneath it here. So you actually have one air pouch that goes above the eye, one below the eye, and then one that's on your temple. And that's the same on both sides. You've got an elastic strap here that actually goes around the back of your head. It is an adjustable strap. You've got a good stretch to it. It doesn't adjust at all in terms of angles. It is fixed at this one angle. But other than that, it is pretty straightforward in terms of the eye massager itself. The next thing you get is a cooling gel eye mask. So this is just sort of like gel mouse pad type material is the easiest thing I can compare it to. On the inside of it, you've got two little cutouts where the eyes go. So there's no actual cooling gel that goes on either of your eyes directly. This you just actually put in the freezer, and you'll wear this before you're gonna actually put the eye massager on. So there's no direct temperature control from this itself, but it's got the same sort of elastic strap on it that the eye massager itself has. Good flexibility here. You just put this in the freezer for a couple hours before you're gonna use it. The next thing you get is a charging cord. So this is a battery powered device. It has a USB-A to USB-C charging cord. It is a relatively long cord, I'd say about 3 feet. It doesn't come with a charging block. In order to charge it, the USB-C just plugs into the bottom of the device just below the control. And then lastly, it comes in a firm-sided case. You have a fabric little wrist handle here. You've got 2 zippers that run around the device. You have the Bob & Brad branding on it. This is sort of signature of all their massage gun cases. This is the first device that I've seen that actually has a firm-sided case, and this is even firmer than the ones that I've seen from their massage guns. So not only is it firm on the inside, but there's also firm support on the inside as well that is custom built to the shape of the device. So see, I've got the device in it here, but if I lift this out, there's actually an indentation in it for the actual device to fit into, and this is firm itself. So this is one of the best cases that I've seen. Almost every device that I've seen prior to this just has like a little foam pouch that's similar in shape of this, or just a drawstring bag in general. So big props on the case here, as it is one of the strongest, most durable cases that I've seen in the eye massager space. And then lastly, you do just get a quick little instruction manual. It walks you through the device, tells you how to control it, how to wear the cooling eye mask, some warnings, walks you through the different modes. But if it's your first time wearing one of these, definitely check this out before you wear it, but it is very self-explanatory to use once you have it on your face. So now that I've covered everything that comes with the device, I wanna talk about the specifications and features of this. So I mentioned that it comes with a case. I mentioned that it has this one button control. So let's walk through all the different capabilities of this and what this control actually is able to do. So this device does have 5 different modes. It also has the ability to heat and control different pressures. So I mentioned earlier, there's 6 different pressure zones. With those 6 pressure zones, you can basically do a soft, a medium, or firm. You can also adjust the heat between a low and high setting. So in order to adjust both of those, you will use the same control, which is just this little toggle button right here. So in order to adjust the pressure, you'll just press the button up. So there's 3 different pressure settings plus no pressure as an option as well. If you want to adjust the heat, you press the button down. So there's 2 heat settings. The lowest heat is going to be 104 degrees Fahrenheit, and the highest heat is going to be 113 degrees Fahrenheit. And if you just keep pressing down, it's just going to toggle back and forth to those. Same thing if you press up, it's just going to continuously cycle through all 3 of those. You'll hear once I turn the device on, but it actually will talk through and tell you what mode, what setting, everything. It'll actually verbally speak that to you, so you're able to hear. You don't have any sort of lights or anything to indicate it, but the volume will actually tell you that. Now it does also have 5 different mode settings. In order to toggle between the modes, you just short press the button in and it'll cycle through those. So mode 1 is going to be air plus heat plus music. Mode 2 is going to be just air and heat. Mode 3 will be air only. Mode 4 is heat only. And then mode 5 is going to be heat and music only. Now there is only one music setting on this, so it's just going to be one standard soundtrack that you hear once I turn the device on. But it does also have the capability to connect to your phone via Bluetooth, and you can play whatever music you want. If you want to listen to rap music while you're trying to relax, you can do that. If you want to listen to a guided breathwork routine or just some peaceful music, you can do that. So you can really just connect it and play whatever you want, which is a great benefit. But if you don't have that Bluetooth connected, it is just the one soundtrack. So I want to go ahead and turn it on now just so I can actually show some of those. So in order to turn it on, you long press it. So it says Bob and Brad Eye Massager is on. And it tells you what mode it's in. So it's always going to go back to whatever mode it was last turned off in. And I want to try to show, you can see this already inflating. This would be on the temple. And then you've got the ones around the eyes inflating. I'm just going to hold this here for a moment just so you guys can actually see how this inflates and deflates. So you got the 2 temples going. Now it's going around the eyes. Real easy, gentle massage back and forth there. Now, like I mentioned earlier, if you want to adjust the air pressure, you press the button up. I'm going to hold this by my mic so you can actually hear it talk.
Moderate pressure. Strong pressure.
So there's moderate pressure, strong pressure,
No pressure.
no pressure. If you want to adjust anything else, if you want to adjust the heat, you can press it down.
High heat. No temperature. Low heat.
So very straightforward, anything you're pressing there. If you want to adjust the volume, you just hold the up button to adjust the volume up.
Maximum volume.
If you want to go down, you just hold it all the way down. But if you hold it all the way up, I'll let you hear the soundtrack.
Maximum volume.
So it's just a relaxing, peaceful soundtrack, but again, the only soundtrack that you are going to hear with it. So again, just to show that, if you want to turn the music off, you double tap it.
No volume.
No volume is what it says, but it'll continue to do the other modes here. Turn the music back on. So in terms of a time setting, it does have a 15-minute auto shut off. So it's going to just automatically turn off for 15 minutes. You can turn it back on, but there's no other sort of time adjustment. You can't do 15, 30, an hour, anything like that. It's just going to have that one time setting. In terms of the battery on this, it is a 1,650 milliamp battery. It takes about 2.5 hours to charge, but once it's fully charged, it's going to last for 5 hours. So that's going to vary depending on if you're using high heat, high pressure. Obviously, those things are going to require more battery. If you're using that maximum volume on the music, it's going to be a little bit less. But if you're using it on the lowest settings, expect to get 5 hours, which is quite a few uses if you're using it just for 15 minutes at a time. Now, if you're using it like I do, which is, closer to 45 minutes at a time, or you're just continuously turning on and off, it's going to be less number of uses. But just know 5 hours is pretty long when it comes to these massagers. And it's a great benefit because if you're going to wear it, once or twice every single day, you really only have to charge it once a week. So nice little benefit from that. Now, one of the best things about this compared to other eye massagers is not only does it fold in half like this, but this is super lightweight. So this weighs 10.2 ounces. For those of you who are familiar with pounds more, it's about 0.6 pounds. So you're talking just over a half a pound. It is really light feeling in the hand for traveling with, but more importantly, it's very light feeling on your face. I've tried other ones which are really heavy. They just feel like they're weighing down and the strap puts a lot of pressure on the back of your head. You don't get that with this at all. So that is a huge improvement from this device. It's currently priced at $80. Fantastic price point. It comes with a 2-year warranty like all Bob and Brad devices. It is FSA and HSA eligible. So that is just a quick run through of all the specs, but now I actually want to try it on and just walk through what exactly I'm feeling. So I'm going to go ahead and put it on. I'm going to turn it on here. Because it's talking to you, you don't need to feel for different buttons or anything. You just press a button, it'll tell you what you selected. If you selected something that you don't want, just press the button again. So this mode that it's on, it's just alternating back and forth, inflating the zones by my temple, and then inflating both the top and lower zone on my eyes. I have the heat setting on as well. The heat is only going to be felt right in the middle, so right around my eyeballs. Now, the fit of this fits very well on my face. It's comfortable. The strap isn't moving at all. It's a good fit. It's not hanging over my ears like some others do. It's not sliding down as I'm wearing it. So the fit is good. The comfort on it, I think it could be a little bit more comfortable. There is a little bit of padding here, but not a ton. You can pretty significantly feel the different air bladders in there. I'll also say the air bladders, this is a pretty narrow device in terms of height. So these air bladders are pretty tight and narrow around my eyes. But in terms of general relaxation, these patterns of just going back and forth in a nice rhythmic motion. So temples deflate, around the orbital bone inflates. Those deflate, temple inflates. I really like that rhythmic mode because if you're just going to sit back and relax and listen to the music, you don't want it to be changing a lot of different alternating, inflating here, then inflating here, then here. You want it to be a nice, smooth, calm, rhythmic motion. And because it's just kind of 1 second inflate, hold, 1 second deflate, same thing with the other ones. It's just a nice rhythmic pattern that you can follow along with the music. And the heat is very, very warm, but not uncomfortably warm. This high pressure that I have it on is definitely a high pressure. So if you like that aggressive squeeze, you're definitely going to feel that. If you want it to be less, you can do that. You can just reduce the pressure. So again, easily switch through all these. I love this 1-button control. More than the 1-button control, though, I love that it talks to you. One of my biggest gripes with a lot of the other massagers that I found is that there was 4 or 5 buttons and you had to try to memorize like, okay, what does this button do? What does this button do? This, you just press it and it tells you, that's not what I wanted, hit it again. Real easy, real simple, easy to use. So very, very straightforward. If you're elderly, you can use this. If you're young, you can use this. You don't really need a lot of instructions. So really, really great. I love the heat on it. It's very relaxing. When you take it off, you might see your vision is just like slightly blurry for a second. Just give your eyes a moment to relax. The temperature is very consistent. I do feel that it's reaching those temperatures that it said it does. I've had devices in the past where they claim one temperature, it's not actually getting there. I feel that this is actually getting there. In terms of my overall thoughts of it, like just very generally speaking, I think it is a great device. The Bob and Brad devices typically tend to be. I would say this definitely is a big improvement from the previous generations, which were already great. They're iOasis devices, so this one definitely a big step in the right direction for these. I think there's a lot of improvement we could see with them. In terms of the things that I really, really like about this, I'll run through them because there's definitely more things that I like than things that I dislike, and there's really not a whole lot that I dislike. So the first thing I mentioned already is the weight. It's super light. It's really light on your face. It's really light to pack and carry and travel with. The fit of this, it fits very firmly, snugly, exactly how I want it to. I think the comfort could be improved slightly with maybe just a little bit more padding around the top parts. I think they could make it just a little bit taller as well. It again is pretty narrow and tight around the eyes when those air bladders are inflating. I love that it talks to you. You don't need to know what the buttons do because it's telling you exactly what you're selecting. If it's not what you want, you move on to the next thing. I love the price. The price at $80, anything under $100 in the massage space, that's a good value for whatever you're getting. I don't care what device it is. If it does what it says and it's under $100, that's a great value. This is both. I love that it comes with this case. This is the best case of any eye massager that I've seen. It is firm, hard. It's going to protect your investment. It's not going to break. I'm squeezing on this. It's not crushing anything like that. And then lastly, I love the simplicity of the 1-button control. There's not a bunch of buttons that you have to press. Now, in terms of the things that I think they could maybe improve, the cooling mask to me, while it's a nice touch, if you have headaches or something, you want to wear this cooling mask after it's been in the freezer. I think it's kind of a gimmicky, tacky add-on. I don't think that it's truly going to benefit you a ton wearing this with this on top of it. You certainly can. It fits very easily. It fits just like you would with the eye massager itself, just like this. You know, you line them up, you put it on. But in terms of like the functionality of what the eye massager is designed to do, when you're massaging something, it typically helps draw blood flow to that area. It helps, you know, promote the reduction of swelling, things like that. Once you introduce cooling to that, you're kind of counteracting that. Same thing is why a lot of compression boots don't have a cold functionality. So, you know, it's great if you want to put this on, listen to the music function. Again, because it's just a gel, it's going to get warm eventually. It's not going to stay cold super, super long. It's obviously a nice little touch that they include it, but I think if we really want to get something that has really beneficial cold functionality, it needs to be somehow built into the device. I think we'll see that eventually with where a lot of the other devices are going. I think we're probably 4 or 5 years from seeing that in an eye massager. And then lastly, something small is that the 15-minute auto off for me is just a little bit too short. 15 minutes is great. I do just wish there was an option to select a longer setting. I mentioned I tend to use it for like 45 minutes on my own. Even to be able to just go 30 minutes would be fantastic. Again, that's something small. Overall, again, great design, great option. I would rank this relatively highly in terms of how it stacks up against the other massagers. I don't know exactly where it would fall in that ranking, but I would say just objectively speaking from looking at it from what I remember from that video, again, it's been 9 months, I would say it would probably fall in the top 3 of eye massagers. So especially if you're looking for this on Amazon, it's going to be a great option for you. Again, Bob and Brad tends to have a lot of good devices that they're lending their name to. So if you guys have questions about this eye massager, go ahead, drop them in the comments down below. I will do my best to answer those. If you like to see videos like this, please consider giving the video a thumbs up. Consider subscribing to my channel, hitting that notification bell, get notified anytime I upload a new video. There is going to be a lot of new videos as we get in towards the holiday shopping season. I'm going to be trying to pump out as much as I can because I know a lot of people are looking to buy different products. And I want to make sure you're informed so that you know whether you're spending your money on a good product or not. If you're going to gift this to somebody, are they going to be happy that you're giving them a well thought out quality product? So expect for a lot of videos to come soon. If there's something specific you want me to review, comment that down below. I'd be happy to try to take a look at that if it makes sense for my schedule. But that is the Bob and Brad Zero Pro eye massager. That's a review. Enjoy your recovery.